industry for confirming. So we will take it forward, and I will just request all of you the way we had been doing it before the break. We would love to continue in the same way, where we will give everybody a chance to express themselves. We will have a little bit of role playing and some videos also, as I promised in the beginning of the session, connected with the flow of the session. So let's start. And I think when we start after the break, I will request you once again to make use of the chat option. And एक सिंपल सा रिक्वेस्ट आएगा मेरे तरफ से आप सभी के लिए, एंड आई होप यू ऑल विल बी एबल टू ड्रॉप अ क्विक आंसर फॉर दैट वन. माय रिक्वेस्ट इज what are the roles expected from an academician आज के तारीख पे in 21st century? Can you just briefly mention what kind of roles we are expected to perform? Just points will do, don't elaborate. एक एक करके अगर एक एक point आप डाल देंगे, that will be fine. So what are the roles expected from an academician in 21st century? Just 1 or 2 points, bullet points will do. Don't have to elaborate on it. So if you want, you can just unmute and speak also. Before the break, we already heard a few professors about their department, about their interest in life. If anybody who didn't get a chance, you can raise your hands and give me an indication. I will love to hear from you about your department as well as about your interest in life, along with your college or the university. Professor Bindu is the fastest finger this time, who is writing the role of a facilitator. Absolutely correct. I think Professor Jana is saying good administration. Absolutely wonderful. Professor Vijayalakshmi is also echoing the voice of Professor Bindu, which is facilitator. Guide our students. Wonderful answer from Professor Pooja. Nurture the future of student, Professor Ramya. Absolutely wonderful answer. Professor Venkatesh P is talking about role model, which is absolutely correct for them. Then teacher and researcher, that is Professor Amurtha. Mentor for overall personality development. Very true, Dr. Anil Kumar. Once again, sir has been there since morning. Professor Hima is talking about technology integrator. Yes, Professor Soumya is talking about facilitator, the role of mentor. I can appreciate all your answers, the way you have mentioned that in the chat box. So let's move forward, and I hope we are having 39 of us right now in the session. And if anybody is yet to join now, hopefully they will join and connect with the flow of the session. Professor Purnima is saying guide our students as a facilitator, role model. Good teacher and guidance is Professor Tasin. Professor Navina, researcher and facilitator. Very true. Professor Vijay Lakshmi had also mentioned about role model to our students. So with those role playing that we did today, I think we can just have a look at the roles of an academician in 21st century. आप थोड़ा देखिए, अगले 5 मिनट के अंदर आपको पूरा क्लैरिटी मिल जाएगा. And it comes from only what you have said. आपका जो आंसर है उसी को हम थोड़ा कंपाइल करके आपके सामने रख रहे हैं. So please try and check out the next couple of slides, and I hope you'll be able to try and make sense of it. So when we talk about roles of an academician in 21st century, with the right kind of domain-specific knowledge, along with the right kind of life skills, I think we are expected to perform certain simple and fundamental roles in our day-to-day activities. The first one, if you see the roles of an academician, happens to be interpersonal role, and you all are going to get 10 on 10 in my opinion. Whatever I have seen today, आज का जो session में देखने को मिला है for the last 1.5 hours, I think each and every professor you get 10 on 10, because that is the first role we are expected to perform in 21st century. That is called the interpersonal role. Interpersonal role, the way we deal with our colleagues, the way we guide our juniors, the way we deal with our student as mentor, guide, facilitator, as a role model, the way we try and connect with the parents and guardians of our students, the way we try and connect with other stakeholders. So that talks about good interpersonal role. And आज के session में, the way you have come forward, expressed yourself, I think you all get a full 10 on 10 in my opinion. So that is the first role which is expected. Though it was an online session, but I think the kind of overwhelming responses that I have received, I can give you that score. The second one talks about informational role. If you look back at your professional career, I think at every point we deal with information. Those who are involved in the admission process, I think from the beginning of the admission process, and then comes, I think, when the semester starts, preparing the lesson plan, and as we go about completing the syllabus, and then gradually, as we proceed towards continuous internal assessment, or even the semester exam, whatever. So that calls for a lot of information, setting up the paper, moderating the papers, and then eventually after the exams are over, evaluation, those who are involved in it. And then comes, I think, a little bit of a research, which is something which you all are very passionate, मुझे पता है. उसको भी आप अगर देखेंगे, you deal with lots and lots of information. And over and above that, those who are having the chance or opportunity or even the responsibility to connect with NRIF or maybe NAC kind of department or the team, and you are into ISO certification. So all those requires lots and lots of information. I hope you will agree that as academician, har ek din, har ek roj, everybody, we are connected with information. And third, which you have proven with that role play. Now I can talk about the takeaway of that role play exercise. You see, I presented with you about a picture of a dress. What you have done, you have actually processed information. That is the second important role. Within a fraction of a second, आपने decide कर लिया what exactly will be your answer, whether it is going to be blue, whether it is going to be the black, or is it going to be white, golden, or even some other colors. So that talks about your decisional role. And मुझे उम्मीद है कि those who are there with me and who performed that role play about the color or colors of the dress, now you will be able to relate that with that role play, we will be able to connect with the informational role and the decisional role. And what all points you see, every step we have to take decision. And आज भी आपने decision लिया है कि आप अपना कीमती वक्त जो है, time जो है, you are going to devote to this FIP. And I am really, really thankful to everybody who is managing time, balancing a lot of other commitment, and still wholeheartedly sharing your experience and active participation. So these are the three important roles of an academician. अगर आपको पता चल गया, I think you can drop a quick message. Are the three roles clear for all of us? I think you have only mentioned that in the chat box. And when we talk about the important roles of an academician, I hope we made sense of it. The first one was a little bit of interpersonal role, the second one informational role, and the third one the decision making role. So can you just quickly drop a yes if I hope you made sense of it? Because next, after looking at this role, we will love to know about another aspect, and उसके बारे में आपसे पूछेंगे. Professor Ramia, Professor Venkatesh, everybody, Professor Purnima, I can see your answers. Dr. Anil Kumar, thank you so much. And I think this is what is expected from all of us, where comes the importance of not just domain-specific knowledge, but the right kind of life skills when we are supposed to perform these different kind of roles. The first one, obviously, interpersonal role, when we are supposed to perform, it calls for the life kind of life skills, which is very, very important for all of us and including our students. Absolutely. I think are the answers which I am seeing here. My next question is, have we heard about this concept? अगर आपने इस कॉन्सेप्ट के बारे में सुने होंगे, you can write a yes. If you have not heard of this concept called Diksharam, you can quickly drop a no. So let me see what all answers I'm getting in the chat box. Because if you are heard of it, well and good. If not, अगले 2 मिनट के अंदर आपको पता चल जाएगा. So the fastest finger is Professor Pooja now. Professor Venkatesh is there. Thank you, Professor Navina. Thank you, Professor Purnima. Professor Tanuja is also there with us. Professor Ramia is giving a quick response. Thank you very much. As of now, 43 participants in the session, and I will expect all of you to please drop it in the chat box. Nice to see Professor Hima giving a yes. Professor Manisha is also giving a response. Thank you very much, Professor Tassin. Anybody else, if you are willing to answer, please go ahead. Professor Ravi, thank you. Wonderful. If you are not aware about the terminology, but मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप जरूर इस concept के साथ परिचित होंगे. If not, अगले 2 मिनट के अंदर आपको पता चल जाएगा. So let's have a look at what exactly is Diksharam. And as academician, as a faculty member, professor, why should we know about it? So that is my request. आप थोड़ा देखिए, आपको लगेगा कि भाई हाँ हम तो इसको जानते हैं. May not be the term, but आज के बाद आपको term भी पता चल जाएगा. And also the objective or purpose of this concept. So Diksharam is actually the official student induction program from UGC. So when a new student joins the higher education setup of the country, I think UGC is having this, which is called Diksharam. And here we as mentor, as faculty members do have a role to perform. आप और हमारा एक रोल है जो हमको परफॉर्म करना पड़ता है. मुझे उम्मीद है कि यू डेफिनेटली होपफुल इन योर ओन इंस्टीट्यूट, कॉलेजेस, यूनिवर्सिटीज, यू डू हैव अ रोल टू परफॉर्म. इफ नॉट, in the future, definitely you will be requested to try and join maybe in whatever way and connect with this particular program. So when we talk about Diksharam, it is actually the fact student induction program. And when we talk about the student induction program, I will request all of you to kindly just have a look at the major objectives or purpose. The first and foremost, when a new student come for higher education, I think आपके जो experience है from there, you will be able to relate. They come from different geographic contexts. They might come from different kind of socio-economic background. They can come from different kind of learning experiences. They can come with different walks of life. So we have to try and help those new students feel comfortable in the new environment inside our campuses and also in our classroom. So that is the first objective, and I hope many of you must be connected with this one. The second one, you see, just like today, I told you that I represent St.Xavier's College, Kolkata. It's a Jesuit institute. We have our own culture as a Jesuit organization. Similarly, I believe each and every professor who is right now in the session, you also have a very rich and very important organization culture in your respective colleges, institute, universities that you'd love to pass it to your students. So that is what UGC expects. Inculcate in our student the ethos and culture of the institution. Point number three, if you look at it talks about developing bonds and what kind of bonding it is between student and also between student and you and me as a mentor, as faculty members. And I believe there are a lot of students who might have completed their courses long back, but still they are in touch with you even if they have settled some other parts of the country or even they have gone abroad, but hopefully some way or the other they remember you and they treat you with a lot of respect. So that is the kind of bonding which hopefully UGC is expecting to get developed between a student and a faculty member during this journey called a life. And last but not the least, once again this gives us room for another role play. If you kindly have a look, I think it's not just as of completing a course. जैसे आज शुरू हम किए थे सुबह with dream. So when a student comes, he or she comes with his or her dream. It is not just their dream, but also the dream, the aspiration of their parents, their family members who have sent them for higher education in different higher educational institute of the country, and how they look at success and failure, how they want to take their life forward, how they look at the concept of love. So all those issues we have discussed, and now we are actually talking about giving them a chance for a little bit of self-exploration. Take young minds who is around 17, 18 years or little more or less, how exactly they are going to do a little bit of exploration. So I will love all of you to please get involved once again and do a simple role play. Last time it was about watching a dress and mentioning the color. This time it will be something different. So आप अगर तैयार होंगे तो then I think we can have another kind of a role play. इस role play के अंदर what will happen? I'll give you 6 different options. Respected professors, participants, I repeat once again, in the next slide, you are going to be presented with 6 different options. आपको 6 options दिखाया जाएगा. What I will expect from all of you is to please do a ranking of those 6 options. So आपको 6 options दिखाए गए and then I will request you to do a ranking. The question is on what basis? किस हिसाब से आप रैंकिंग करेंगे? जो ऑप्शंस आपके लाइफ में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है उसको नंबर 1 पे लिखना है. I repeat, the option which is the most important in your life, you have to place it at number 1, followed by the rest of the options one by one. So you are supposed to write all the 6 options one by one in the chat box and then send it. So that is the role play I will expect you to do. I hope you have understood the brief. If anybody has any doubt, I will clarify once again. I repeat, you will be seeing 6 different options appearing on screen before you. And those options अगर आप देखेंगे somewhere down the line, hopefully it will be connected with our life and life of our students. So इसको देखने के बाद I will request you to do the ranking of those 6 options. So what you are expected to do is write the name of those options one by one. The one which is the most important one you should write first, उसके बाद the next important one, उसके बाद the next important one. ऐसे करते हुए all the 6 options you're supposed to write together and send it in the chat box. If you have understood this, I hope you can try and drop a yes. My question is, are we ready for another quick role play? So if you are interested for another quick role play, which will talk about a little bit of self exploration, so you can drop a yes in the chat box and simultaneously I will expect you to raise your hand like last time. अगर आप खेलना चाहते हैं तो आप प्लीज हाथ ऊपर कर दीजिए, एक बार बटन क्लिक कर दीजिए, हैंड रेज ऑप्शन आपके डिवाइस पे वो रिएक्ट बटन के अंदर होगा. यस, थैंक यू प्रोफेसर बिंदु. आई कैन सी प्रोफेसर पूजा. Thank you, Professor Soumya. आपका हाथ ऊपर है. Professor Sindhu Sri. Thank you, Professor Tanuja. I can see Professor Purnima's hand has gone up. Professor, yes, Amurtha is there. Everybody, Professor Ramya, your hands have gone up. Thank you. You all are willing to participate. I am really honored. Professor Ravi sir is there with us. Professor Tassin is there. Thank you. Thank you so much. So let's watch all the options first. And I request you कि ऐसा नहीं कीजिए कि एक ऑप्शन लिख के आप भेज देंगे. You have to write all the 6 options one by one. I hope I have made myself clear. You have to do a ranking. So all the 6 options एक के बाद आपको लिखना है and then you send it. My question or request is please do the ranking based on their importance in your life. I repeat once again, the one which is most important at this moment in your life, you are supposed to write at number 1, followed by the second option, and then the third. इस हिसाब से आपको all the 6 options लिखना है और भेजना है chat box में. So let's get ready and watch the options which appear before you. I hope everybody will be able to see those options which is going to appear before all of you, and it is connected with the role play. Yes, I hope it is appearing before all of you. Can you unmute and confirm, Professor Navina? अगर आपको दिखाई दे रहा है सर, एक बार confirm कर दीजिए. If you are able to see the
Visible, sir.
options.
Visible, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. So take your time. Don't be in a hurry. आराम से देखिए. What I request you is have a look and then you write जो अगर आपको लगता है सबसे important है आपके life में, you write that option number 1. उसके बाद second, number 2, उसके बाद 3, ऐसे करते हुए. अगर आपको लगता है कि आपके profession सबसे important है, you write profession in number 1. इसके बाद अगर आपको लगता है God आएगा, you can write God number 2. ऐसे करते हुए पूरा list बनाइए and then you mail it, please. Send it, sorry, in the chat box. I hope everybody is having a look at the options. I read out in a clockwise manner. We have God, we have religion, we have profession, we have society, we have friends, and we have family. So take your time, don't be in a hurry. आराम से देखिए and then you write all the options one by one and then you send it. ऐसा नहीं कि एक option लिख के आप भेज देंगे. अगर आपको सबसे important लगता है God, then don't write God and send it. पूरा list बनाइए and then you please send it in the chat box. So while we do the mentoring in the course of Diksharam, we can try and find out with our students how they connect with all these 6 options, and then we can try and accordingly take care about this journey. I hope everybody has seen the 6 options. आप आराम से देखिए. I repeat once again, the options are God, then we have religion, we have profession, we have society, we have friends, and we have family. I hope everybody has seen those options. आराम से आप अपना time लीजिए and chat box में आप भेजिए. As I said, don't just write only one option and send it. पूरा list बनाइए. Professor Pallavi, Professor Tanuja, I request you, just like Professor Sindhu Sri has done, उस हिसाब से पूरा list बना के आप भेजिए. He had mentioned God the top priority, उसके बाद family, then comes profession for her, then friends and society. Religion hopefully is not that important to Professor Sindhu Sri. She had not mentioned that. Professor Amurtha had mentioned about family, then comes friends, profession, society, God and religion. Professor Dr. Soumya, if you see, had mentioned God the top priority. So that is what we are saying. So when we do this with our students, we will get to see that how they are connecting with those priorities in their life. जिसके साथ वो आते हैं, बैठते हैं हमारे classes में, and they select their choice of specialization. They identify the topic for research, everything. Professor Navina had talked about family. उसके बाद आता है profession and the rest. Professor, yes, industry has given religion the list priority at number 6. Professor Bindu had mentioned family once again as the top priority, just like Professor Jayana, who has also mentioned family the top priority. Both badhiya. Professor Bindu had also mentioned family the top priority. We have Professor Tanuja giving family the top priority. Once again, Professor Ramya, God is the most important, just like Professor Hima. And I am really, really thankful to all of you for so wonderfully well you are playing and sharing the options in the chat box. So हर एक students आप देखेंगे how they look at life and these priorities in their life. Because course तो ठीक है, syllabus ठीक है, I think marks and all are good, but ultimately what exactly the introspection they are doing. Thank you, Dr. Sagar, for your response. I think Sarah's mentioned family the top priority, followed by friends and the rest. Professor Pooja had given God the top priority. Professor Vijay Lakshmi ke liye God is the most important thing, followed by her profession, and then comes, I think, family and the rest. Professor Parashuram had given family, uske baad aata hai profession, and towards the end, religion and God. We can see Professor Shanta, Professor yes, Shanta had mentioned family the top priority. Thank you so much for your response. Professor Taisin had also given family the top priority. At this moment, I think we got the maximum response in the chat box, and I'm really, really overwhelmed with your responses, with your answers. मुझे उम्मीद है कि उतने सारे लोग ही हाथ ऊपर किए हैं जो आंसर दिए हैं. So that talks about the involvement and the participation which you are showing today with the right kind of passion and commitment. Thank you, Professor Manisha, for your response. She had given family the top priority, followed by profession, friends, and then comes little bit God and religion in the end. So out of 47, if I can just check in real time, I think there are more than 15 who have participated, but hands have gone up for 15 रेस्पेक्टेड प्रोफेसर. अगर ऐसा कोई है जिसने आंसर दिया है अभी तक हाथ ऊपर नहीं किया है, यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम टू confirm by raising your hands also. So that talks about how well you all are playing, and आप अपने students के साथ you can also do similar kind of exercise to figure it out. So when we talk about it, you see the diversity that we address as academician, we need to respect that, we need to identify that, and we need to actually respond in a very correct manner. So that is what is the important aspect. Thank you, Professor Sindhu, for mentioning your options in the chat box. And let's move on to the next part. And I think as academician, har ek din, har ek classes may we are actually addressing a diverse kind of student profile. So this is what is going to come, and officially we will look at another case study in next 2 minutes. So as academician, with those three kind of roles that we are expected to perform, one was interpersonal, the second one was informational role, and third, सबसे जो महत्वपूर्ण important decision making role. And उस तीन role को perform करने के लिए we need to have the right blending of both the domain specific skill, knowledge, as well as life skills. And I think that is also the need of the hour for our students. So when we talk about diversity and the concept of inclusive education, इसके लिए अगर आप देखेंगे as a mentor, as an academician, we have to be careful. And I would love to try and talk about facts, and I hope you will be able to relate with it. Student diversity is actually, you see, reflected in terms of an increasing share of students who are coming from socially and economically disadvantaged group. If you look at your own student profile, what kind of students you get in your campuses, I don't know, but if you look back, you will see that yes, you might get diverse kind of students who are coming from different socioeconomic background, from different geographic contexts, with different kind of medium of instructions, and also different subject combinations for many courses at the UG level, or even a different diverse topic of research for their PhD and all those things. So that is what the diversity we see. And as per the report of Ministry of Education 2020, I quote, nearly 57% of our students are coming from disadvantaged group, which is a little bit encouragement that a lot of students who are not that privileged, they are also making it to the higher education setup of the country, not just at the education or the grassroots level. So इसी के साथ मेरा एक अगला रिक्वेस्ट है आप सभी के तरफ, आप प्लीज चैट बॉक्स देखिए, एंड अगर आपने सुने होंगे इस टॉपिक के बारे में, have we heard about if you have heard about this concept, then please write yes. अगर आपने नहीं सुने होंगे, nothing to worry, as last time we said you will be getting clarity in next few minutes. My question is, have we heard about this concept, the open door project? As academician, or maybe as professors connected with the higher education set of the country, are we aware about it? Have we heard anywhere, seen something about this concept called the open door project? अगर आपने नहीं देखे होंगे, सुने होंगे, nothing to worry. आज के सेशन में in next couple of minutes, I believe we will be able to try and connect with you and present this case study about the open door project. You see, आप और हम सब higher education के साथ जुड़े हैं, but what exactly is happening at the grassroots level, at school level, at primary level of education? So here comes this project which is trying to make some kind of a positive impact when it comes to education in our country. So if you are interested in this case study, I think you have to be with me for next couple of minutes, and जरूर आपको पता चल जाएगा कि what exactly this concept is. So let's move forward. And what is it, this concept of open door project? I think this is actually the dream. We started today with dream. So this is a dream of a person who is going to appear on screen for all of you. So have a look, please. Sorry. So when we talk about the case study of the Open Door project, I think this is actually the dream, the vision of a person who is appearing on screen. Who is he? What was his dream? And why we need to know about it? So all these questions are going to be answered in next 2-3 minutes. I will request you to please be there with me, and hopefully अगले 2-3 मिनट के अंदर आपको पता चल जाएगा पूरा. So he is actually Mr. Shantanu Prakash. So Mr. Shantanu Prakash is the founder of this school, which is called the Millennium School. So what kind of a school is it, and what exactly his dream and his vision connected with this concept called the Open Door Project? So इसको देखने के लिए, जानकारी लेने के लिए, I think just watch out for the next 2 slides, and then we will try and have a small video connected with this concept. You see, where from it started, the concept of Open Door Project. I think it came with a simple observation. And what was that observation? If you are looking at the screen, I hope you are going to see it. The observation was a child hungry for knowledge. I repeat, that a child who is hungry for knowledge will always find a way to learn. So it started with this simple observation. कोई भी बच्चा अगर knowledge के लिए he or she is interested, hopefully should find a way to learn. But unfortunately, अभी होता नहीं सब जगह हमारे देश में. So here comes this concept. So what kind of a school is this Millennium School? What I talked about, they are actually educating over 35,000 students. And if you walk into a Millennium School, अगर आप किसी दिन देखेंगे, around 12 o'clock, it will be buzzing with students, full of students, very vibrant campus. But 2 बजे, 2:30 बजे, around 2:30, hopefully all the infrastructure totally fall vacant and unutilized. So that is where I think the Open Door project came. And just have a look in the next slide what exactly the concept is. So this project actually came with this background. You see, in spite of so much being done by the central government, different state governments, NGOs, and private sector, the fact remains, I quote, 1/3 of Indian children, which is a huge number, 1/3 of Indian children do not have access to quality education. And over 8 millions are out of school. Look at the number, over 8 million students are out of school, which is a huge number. So here comes, I think, this particular group headed by Mr. Shantanu Prakash, who thought of doing something important. So what is that they did? Just let me show you a small video. I hope you'll be able to connect with it. But before that, you need to give me a confirmation. Are we ready to watch a short video about the Open Door project? एक छोटा सा video है for just maybe 2 minutes. If you are interested in watching it, you will get full clarity about it. So अगर आपके पास 2 मिनट का समय है, I hope you will be able to figure out what exactly the initiative of Mr. Shantanu Prakash and the Open Door project and the Millennium School. Thank you, Professor Venkatesh, Professor Amurtha, everybody, Professor Tanuja, for giving me a go ahead to try and play the video with you. But you need to unmute and confirm अगर आपको audio सुनाई दे रहा है. So I'm just about to share the screen with all of you. So kindly just let me know if you are able to hear the audio. So then it will clarify about the Open Door project. So I'm about to share the screen along with the sound. So just confirm कीजिए whether you are able to hear the audio also. So just give me a second. I will share the screen with you, and hopefully you'll be able to see the video also. I hope we are able to hear the audio. Can you confirm, Professor
sir.
Navina? Yeah,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Very good, sir.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Okay, watch it carefully, please.
Education in India, I call it a national emergency. There are 80 million kids who are on the stage. They should be inside classrooms right now. And this is not a problem that only the government can solve. Because I want to give these kids exactly the same educational standard that the so-called prestigious elite India gets. And this is the Open Door project. Millennium Schools is a chain of schools. We educate 35,000 children. If you walk into a Millennium School at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll see it buzzing. But post 2 o'clock, the entire infrastructure falls silent. And then we decided that why don't we open our doors to kids from the community, from the neighborhood. These kids who are coming in the second shift take full advantage of the opportunity that's been given to them. This is the story of a sex worker's child who converts his mother's clients into teachers. Top national NGOs joined us, and that's how the mission got the momentum.
So Teach India has an access to volunteer teachers. The Open Door project has access to volunteer schools. And when the two join hands, we have a perfect circle of knowledge.
This is just the beginning. I would want that the Open Door project reaches out to thousands of underprivileged children across the country.
So this is nothing short of a revolution. And the impact that India is going to see with this is not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen 5 or 10 years later.
I believe everybody, we got to watch the video and we made sense of what exactly the dream of Mr. Shantanu Prakash. If you watch the last frame, though it was very fast, but if you watch the last frame, it's not about only one school. It's not about only one person's dream or vision. But अगर आपने ठीक से देखे होंगे, the last frame said there were 50 other similar schools who did the same. And what was the duration like? Within a span of 3 months only. The project, if you see, was launched around 2019 in the month of April, around 12th of April, which is actually treated as a World Street Children's Day. Every year that day is observed, that date, 12th of April. During that time, the project was launched, and within 3 months, 50 similar schools, they also thought of doing the same. And after that, the pandemic, we all know we had gone through it, and slowly the project is hopefully picking up momentum. And the last concluding words were very meaningful. It is not going to happen overnight, but I think the impact that is going to happen in the long run, hopefully we all are going to see the benefit of it. मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप सभी ने शायद वीडियो को देखे होंगे and you figured out what exactly the concept of dream, the concept of vision, and also the ground reality, how it was executed. And ultimately, we talk about great kind of collaboration with Teach India, the organization जो आपने देखा, having the largest volunteers of teachers and all those things. So they are trying to address the concept of inclusive education and also include students from different section of the society who are not that privileged like you and me. So that is what I think the Open Door project. And slowly but steadily, I think we have touched upon this case study, and let's move forward. And hopefully in next couple of minutes, we will be talking about another important aspect, which is actually coming up from here. So let's see what UGC is expecting from all of us as per the national education policy, as mentor, as faculty, as professor. The first one is we need to try and focus on learner-centric approaches or methods. I will request all of you, I know that many of you are actually practicing it in your classes, but if anybody is doing something different, it is expected, requested that slowly we get into this learner-centric method of teaching learning process. So what exactly UGC is expecting from you and me? And one is this learner-centric or learner-centered pedagogical practices. So rather than maybe a teacher-centric approach, आप मुझे बता सकते हैं कि how exactly it is happening today? Is it a teacher-centric approach that we are having, or it is more of a learner-centric approach by the time we come to the end of the session? Because I thought we will experience it. सबसे पहले देखिए learner-centric approach में क्या होता है? There should be some kind of a scope for discussion. I tried from my own level to the best of my ability to try and offer you a chance to discuss about the different aspects, whether it is about dream, whether it is about success and the road to success, whether it is about falling in love, whether it is talking about fixing up priorities in your life. So these were things I tossed up for discussion, and I'm really thankful to you that everybody who were actively engaging and they were sharing their thoughts. The second point in learner-centric method talks about ग्रुप एक्टिविटीज अगर चैट बॉक्स आप देखेंगे फर्स्ट हाफ एंड नाउ I think it is flooded with your observation, with your comments, with your messages. So that talks about the group work that we were doing. When you talk about finding the color or color of the dress, or even fixing up the priorities of those 6 options, you have talked about it in your own way when we talk about it. So as per NEP, UGC is expecting that there should be a compulsory internship. Those who are from management or if at all commerce, more or less the concept of internship, the concept of specialization project were always there in our MBA, BBA curriculum or BMS and all. But in other courses also, I think a compulsory internship is happening as per NEP, and that will give our students the kind of practical exercise, exposure and hands-on training also. So we require a little bit of field experiences. We talk about project works gaining a lot of grounds and importance. So I hope everybody who is right now in the session, मुझे उम्मीद है कि जरूर आप अपने अपने sessions में depending on your subject and also the flexibility that you get in terms of your audience and maybe the scope, you are also applying, or even if you are not applying, you are actually looking at the slide and thinking how we can make use of the learner-centric method. So अगर आपको learner-centric method के बारे में idea हो गया, and I hope if some professors who are not yet making use of it, जरूर आप चाहेंगे अगर मौका मिले तो try and make use of it, because that is what UGC is expecting from all of us. So I will request you for a quick response in the chat box. Is I hope everybody, those who are already applying it, is nothing new. But if anybody who is hearing it for the first time, the learner-centric method, the approach is clear, where we talk about the importance of discussion, importance of group activity, talking about practical exposure, internship, field work. शायद आप अपने हिसाब से ये अप्लाई कर सकते हैं अपने अपने respective courses in your campuses and all. So that is what is UGC expecting as per the national education policy. So that is the first part of it, which is a learner-centric method. Along with that, what UGC is reminding all of us is that we should not be just information, source of information. We should not just pass on information, but rather we should see that wherever we are conducting a session, जहाँ कहीं भी हम session conduct कर रहे होंगे, whether it's an offline or online, we should make an attempt to see that some knowledge is getting constructed. We should not just try and aim to pass on information and knowledge, but rather try to construct knowledge. Now it's a little bit challenging activity, but अगर आप next slide देखेंगे आपको लगेगा कि हाँ, it's something which we can definitely think of and try to implement. So let's see the second aspect, which talks about knowledge transmission vis-a-vis knowledge construction. So we should not transmit knowledge, but we should try to build up knowledge in the session. मैंने आपको नहीं बताया आज कि कैसे जीना चाहिए जीवन को. मैंने नहीं बताया कि whether God should be your top priority or family. So that is what I didn't say, but I think in the session it emerged what exactly the discussion we had. I did not say what exactly the color or colors of the dress. आप ही ने बताया, somebody said blue and black. कोई बोला कि white and yellow or maybe some other colors. So we have to try and see that we don't end up being knowledge transmitter as faculty, as professors, but rather we should strive, we should aim for knowledge construction. Knowledge construction होने के लिए सबसे महत्वपूर्ण, the most important thing that is we need to see is personal experience of learners. And I am once again thanking all of you, because the way as I think professors, as respected colleagues, you came forward. I think your experience really helped or facilitated the session to move in this direction. So personal experiences of the learners, it plays a major role in construction of knowledge. So अगर आप पूरा chat box देखेंगे, if it is recorded later on, you will see that it was your experience sharing, and time will tell whether any knowledge has already been constructed in the session or not. So how was the road to success? What exactly your special moments, or maybe when we talk about the roles of an academician in terms of those interpersonal, informational, and decision-making roles. So these are things you only told us in the session, and that is what is required for a knowledge construction, the first point. Second one, active participation of the learners. Though I have been talking a lot, but I think silently also, and at times by unmuting everybody, I am giving you full credit for that. You have been actively participating and sharing your experiences, your thought process about different aspects of life and this journey of life and life skills. So that is also required as per UGC guideline, that active participation of the learners. Kabhi kabhi online mein shayad we all face those challenges where response rate is negligible. There is a one-way kind of a traffic, but I think today I'm lucky that I'm surrounded with a lot of respected professor who have wholeheartedly contributed to the session. So when we look at it, ultimately, what is the conclusion? The conclusion is the focus whenever we conduct a session, वो offline हो सकता है, वो online भी हो सकता है. So the focus should be on two dimension. First one, we should go for learner-centric method. Already in the previous slide, I hope we have seen and you have confirmed that you understood it. And उसके साथ जो आपको करना है, we have to aim for knowledge construction. By the time we try to complete the session, we try to wrap it up. आपको देखना है कि you don't end up being just a knowledge transmitter, but end of the session ऐसा होना चाहिए कि some knowledge might have been created in the session. So I hope everybody who is right now in the session, you understood these two dimensions. One is learner-centric method, and the second one, which UGC is expecting as per NEP also, is some kind of a knowledge construction in the session. इसके लिए I think what is important is the critical thinking aspect, जो आपको थोड़ा नर्चर करना है, आपको encourage करना है among your students. And मुझे उम्मीद है कि you definitely do it during the course of your mentoring, or maybe during some other kind of interactions inside the classroom and beyond. I will request you to look in an anti-clockwise manner from your right to left. If you look at that critical thinking wheel or the bulb kind of a thing, सबसे पहले देखिए, we have to stimulate curiosity among our audience. Point number two is polishing the creativity. आज सुबह मैंने आपसे पूछा था, and I came to know that a lot of professors are very creative. Whether you talk about painting, gardening, or maybe doing some kind of music and other things. So that talks about polishing your creativity. Point number three talks about refining your research skill. And I am really, really confident and happy that you all are very passionate and active researchers. So आपको अपने students के अंदर भी वो skill थोड़ा inculcate करना होगा as per the National Education Policy 2020. And then comes, I think, problem solving ability. आज के session में at least two simple problems I have offered to you. The first one was about identifying the color or color of the dress. And the second problem was presenting with you all with 6 different options and asking you, requesting you to prepare the priority list in terms of ranking. So these were the two problems. And what have you done? You have given your decision in both the occasions. You have said whether it's a blue or a black, the colors of the dress, or white or golden or some other colors. And when it comes to fixing the priority, आप ही ने बताया कि फैमिली को सबसे ऊपर रखना है, या प्रोफेशन को, या मे बी योर what you called God, religion को. So these are things what I think we have done in the session, and I hope to a certain extent you are the best person to talk about it, whether we have been able to try and follow the learner-centric method, and whether some sort of a knowledge has been created in the session or not. So I think these two dimensions, if it is clear, I will request you, please give me a confirmation. My question is once again, is knowledge construction aspect clearly understood? So I hope you all try to aim for that. You do it in your respective sessions, but I hope you understood how to go about it. Yes, thank you, Professor Hina. I can see Professor Amurtha, clear, Professor Dr. Anil Kumar. Hopefully, everybody, you are writing your answers, and I can see it. Thank you very much, Dr. Soumya. Yes, Professor Purnima's answer is visible to me. So slowly but steadily, I think we have come to a session where it's the right time to look at a simple role playing once again. And I hope with that video, what we saw, uske baad, we will do a simple role playing to exactly get into the concept of life skills. As I said, we will not talk about it, we will experience it. So this is the next role play. So we have seen pictures, we have seen options and done the ranking. Abhi jo karna hai aapko, you have to identify a famous personality based on some clues which I am going to provide to you. So this is a role playing we will do with all of you. So I repeat once again, we are supposed to identify a famous personality. Shayad many of you must be knowing who is he or she. आपको एक के बाद एक क्लू दिया जाएगा and आपको गेस करना है who is this famous personality. So it will be a who am I kind of a round. So I hope you will be able to participate for next couple of minutes. So we will present one after the other some clues and आपको guess करते जाना है कि who might be this famous personality. So that is what the game we are going to play. So I will request all of you kindly just check the chat box once again. The next role play is we have to guess who is this person, who am I. So इसके बारे में आपको guess करना है. So if you are interested, you can drop a yes if you are willing to participate. So I will give you one after the other clues. And at every clue, you're supposed to take a name. You're supposed to write a name in the chat box. Please note there are no negative marking and you can change your answer multiple times. I hope it's clear for all of you. So kindly just once again drop a yes if you are interested for this role play. We are trying to identify a famous personality. And how we are going to go about it, आपको जो करना है, please listen to my brief. I will show you the first clue. First clue देखने के बाद I will request you to drop a name in the chat box. If you are not able to figure out about who is he or she, you can write can't guess or no. Then I will present the second clue. And after that also again you have to write a name. So you can change your answers also. Suppose in first clue you are talking about Mr. or Miss A, and by the time you reach the third clue, आपको लगता है कि no, it will be Mr. X or Y. That you can do. So you can change your answer multiple times, but do participate and play. Don't stay silent. So that is my humble request to all of you. So I hope we all are ready. So can we raise our hands once again? Those who have not raised it earlier, if you have given a yes in the chat box, this will be a who am I round. You have to guess who is this person. जिसके बारे में हम some clue देते रहेंगे आपको. Yes, some hands are going up. 12 hands already up. I can see the number is improving. Thank you very much, Professor Amurtha, for your response. I can see Professor, yes, Pooja ma'am is also ready to participate. Professor Venkatesh is there since morning. Thank you so much. So we have to guess who is this professor. So sorry, not the professor, the personality. So let's move on to the clue, first clue. So you have to write like this. You have to give, अगर first clue के बाद आपको guess करना है किसी का नाम, you write one and write the name. Similarly, after second clue, you can guess and write the name. Number two, and then guess. You can change your answer. So it's not that once you give, you are not able to change. You can change your answer multiple times. So let's see. Let's start the game, and I hope everybody will be able to play this wonderfully well, because life is a game, and why not we play it together? So मुझे लगता है कि हर किसी को पता है इनके बारे में. If not, आज के बाद जरूर आपको पता चल जाएगा who is this famous personality. So we will try and play this game together. Your time starts now. So after every clue, you're supposed to make use of the chat option and write. So after looking at the first clue, if you can't guess, write no. I will offer you the second clue, but do give a response after every clue. So here is the first clue. So life is a journey. Why not we travel it together in this FIP today? So here comes the first clue for all of you. And I say, what a journey. So we are trying to identify someone with the first clue who was a national level volleyball player. So अगर कोई भी नाम आपको याद आ रहा है, you can write one in the chat box and write a name. If you can't guess about any name, you write one and pass. At least drop an answer so that I can move and give you the second clue. So let me see all of you, those who are willing to participate. If you think, no, I can't think of any name, you can write one and pass. So I'll give you the second clue. So let me see what all answers are coming. Professor Pooja, yes, Professor Bindu is not giving any answer, and you can change your answer also. Okay, Professor Tanuja wants to see some other clues. Thank you, Professor Tanuja. Professor Ramia, yes, Professor Parashuram, everybody. So at least we can figure out that we are talking about a sports person in the context of volleyball. So let's move on to the next clue. And I hope we will be able to try and look at clue number 2. On 11th of April 2011, she was traveling from Lucknow to Delhi. So this is clue number 2. We are talking about a famous personality who was traveling from Lucknow to Delhi by train on 11th of April 2011. So kindly just write number 2 and give an answer, or even you can write a pass. All of you, please give it fast so that we can go and check the third clue. Yes, I hope all the players are giving the answers very fast and we can try and move forward. So nothing abnormal, absolutely normal. Someone was traveling by train from Lucknow to Delhi, but what exactly happened is something hopefully many of us know about it. There were robbers in the train, and as she was trying to resist them, she was thrown out of the train. So that was clue number 3. I hope you'll be able to guess someone's name if you have heard about this incident, this unfortunate tragic incident. So this is clue number 3. She was thrown out of train when she tried to resist the robbers who wanted to beg free. So that is the third one. Fourth one, because of this accident or maybe this incident, what happened, you see, her leg was amputated below the knee, and there were 2 rods in the other leg. So today we started off with dream. So look at this national level volleyball player. She was dreaming to represent the country and make it big in her game, which she was very passionate about. But unfortunately, because of no fault of hers, this tragic accident happened, and you see what happened. Her dreams got shattered. So what can happen next, you see? But still, look at this person. She was determined to achieve something in life. So when we talk about life skills, what exactly the different dimensions of life skills, we will be able to relate with this case study. And by now, मुझे उम्मीद है कि there are many professors who have got the name correct. I can assure for that. And yes, I think what is that big thing she determined? Sorry. When one dream got shattered, look at the personality, look at the attitude, look at the motivation, and look at another dream that she set for herself. She dreamt and decided to climb Mount Everest. Now, was it very easy translating the dream to reality? The road towards success today we discussed. So on 21st of May 2013, she became the first female amputee to climb Mount Everest. And the rest, as we can say, is history. We all know about who is she. So if you look at it, it took her 52 days of tough climbing. And ultimately, I think eventually she met the summit of Mount Everest. And I think because of this wonderful achievement of hers, she was awarded Padma Shri in 2015 by the then Honorable late President Dr. Pranab Mukherjee. And she is none other than Arunima Sinha, the first female amputee to conquer Mount Everest. And I think we can all appreciate her for this wonderful kind of a dream that she had and translated into reality. And I think she is an inspiration for one and all when it comes to talking about life's challenges and little bit of setbacks and maybe dreams getting shattered, and also again setting some new dreams and achieving it with such conviction. So this is that moment when she was receiving the award from the then President Sri Pranab Mukherjee. So I hope everybody in the chat box, we can just give a raise of hands and can appreciate Arunima Sinha ji with a genuine appreciation. I will offer my genuine appreciation with a raise of hands and hopefully with a clap because she deserved that. And I hope you will do the same because many of you I know already in the chat box. I can see all those answers who have mentioned it. Professor Shiva Kumar, thank you very much. I think there have been answers coming from Professor Hima and Professor Soumya and many Professor Ramya all got the name correct, Professor Amurtha, because this is what hopefully I think we remind our students. Professor Chandappa also had mentioned about Arunima Sinha ji. So this takes us to what exactly life skills. I said in the morning today we are not going to talk about it, but we will experience it. And when we are coming at the end of the session, I think I will definitely present the next slide and that will clarify what exactly is life skills all about. You all are expert in your own domain when it comes to the domain specific knowledge and skill, but what is life skills? The 3 dimensions that we need to remind our students, and मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप जरूर अपने students को ये याद दिलाते रहते होंगे. The first one, if you see, talks about the thinking skill. It talks about problem solving. It talks about decision making. At least in today's session, we have tried to solve some simple problems. The first one was about identifying the colors of the dress. The second one, trying to do the ranking of those six options based on their importance in our life. And now we have tried to solve the problem, who can be this famous sports personality be. So this talks about our problem solving ability, our creative thinking, and obviously the decision making ability. So that we have done today in the session. The second one talks about social skill. And I have told you that each one of you scored 10 on 10 in my book. Since morning, the way you have interacted, the way you have communicated, the way you have come forward with your experience sharing. So this comes under the second dimension of life skills. So life skills, जब हम देखेंगे, it talks about effective communication. It talks about interpersonal relationship, and above all, empathy. We are not showing sympathy to Arunima Sinha. We are trying to empathize with her condition and the way she actually translated her maybe setback and shattered dreams into another challenging dreams, and eventually achieved and tested success. So that talks about that aspect. And third one, emotional skill. Each one of you, are doing wonderfully well. You are balancing your other commitment and also giving time to this FIP. So that talks about your work-life balance. And I think how Arunima Sinha ji managed her emotion. A national level volleyball player, say, ultimately because of that tragic incident, and then eventually making the summit of Mount Everest. So that talks about dealing with stress. What better example than this? And I hope everybody who is right now in the session, you got to figure out about what are the three dimensions of life skills. अगर आपको लाइफ स्किल्स के बारे में थोड़ा बहुत पता चल गया, वेल एंड गुड, और नहीं तो नेक्स्ट स्लाइड विल हेल्पफुली क्लियरिफाई इट. So when we talk about life skills, what is it? It is defined as, you see, a psychosocial kind of ability for adaptive and positive behavior. Often हमारे students आते होंगे हमारे पास with lot of complaint, lot of issues and all. So we have to try and guide them in the right direction. And I hope here comes the importance of life skills. It talks about positive behavior that enable individuals to deal effectively with demands and challenges of everyday life. छोटा छोटा जो जीवन का जो challenges है day to day life में, how we deal with it, how we overcome those, that is what all about life skills. And I think a lot of news incidents we get to hear where people get frustrated very easily, and then they find there are no way forward. So we have a role as mentors during the course of mentoring to try and guide them and hopefully direct them to the right kind of doctors, people, if at all required for that. So when we talk about life skills, I think these are loosely grouped into three broad category of skills. The first one talks about cognitive skills for analyzing and using information. All our students, I think, hopefully they will also expected to have this, how they can analyze and process the information, which is the cognitive skill. The second one talks about personal skill for developing personal agency and managing oneself. How can we manage our life or day-to-day activities? That's why I asked you that question. Do you want to live for years? Do you want to take your life forward in terms of months, days, or even special moments, or this moment, this second, whatever? So that is what our students also need to remember. And the third one is also equally important, which talks about interpersonal skill for communicating and interacting effectively with others. Language cannot be a barrier as long as we can express ourselves. And I think that is what you have proved today. Each and every professor, wonderfully well, you have come forward and you have shared your thoughts, you have interacted, and you have also given your feedback and time to time valuable observations. So I hope on that note, this part I can drop a request in the chat box for all of you. Is the concept of I'll not say whether it is clear or not, but I'll say that is the concept of life skills experience today in the session. Jay, what exactly the three dimension did we really get a test and feel of it in terms of the role playing, in terms of the discussion and the case studies that we had in the session? अगर आपको लगता है कि वो जो तीनों देखे आपने, you can connect with those examples of Arunima Sinha ji or with those two role playing case studies and all, then you can please drop a yes अगर आपको clarity मिल गया life skills के बारे में. Yes, Professor Bindu, thank you very much, Professor Pooja. I can see Professor Soumya also giving a go ahead. Professor Pallavi, thank you very much. for your response. And slowly but steadily, I think when we look at life skills, the concept of work-life balance also comes into the picture. And when we talk about work-life balance, I'll not keep you on hold. I'll just take one more slide and then wrap up with a thank you note and open it up for a quick round of interaction. So सभी के लिए मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है कि यू आर एक्सपर्ट आई नो इन वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस, बट थोड़ा अगर आप देखेंगे नेक्स्ट स्लाइड को, आपको लगेगा कि यस होपफुली दिस इज ऑफन happening with some of. So let's see what exactly is it and how we are going to deal with this concept called five-letter word stress. When we talk about this concept, I think often our students come and approaches are that they are a little bit under stress. So we have to remind them the importance of all those things. Work-life balance talks about the family, it talks about career, it talks about spirituality, it talks about your health issues also in 21st century, how we can have the right kind of balance. When we talk about work-life balance, I think we need to try and figure it about some basic things जो हम हमारे students को कभी-कभी याद दिलाते रहते होंगे. The first and foremost is the need for regular exercise. We get so stuck with a lot of other activities that we even don't manage time for ourselves. But we have to try and figure out time for doing some sort of a regular exercise. And often in a loose sense, we say to our students, don't just do the exercise of your fingers on that gadget of yours, but I think the other body parts also very important. Second one, we have to try and have a healthy diet. That is very important. Point number 3 talks about the importance of drinking water at regular intervals and how we can think about reducing stress. So this is very, very important when we talk about work-life balance. And I think what is important is managing the different kind of expectations of family, managing the expectations of our friends, and also oneself. So when we talk about work-life balance, it talks about juggling the expectations that we have from our friends, we have from our family members, and सबसे जो important, the expectation that we set for ourselves, that often leads to a little bit of a stress. So this is what we need to take care of when we talk about work-life balance. And मुझे उम्मीद है कि I will wrap up with the last request in the chat box, and hopefully everybody will be able to drop a response for that. My last request is how important is this 5-letter word called trust? My question is how important is this 5-letter word called trust? Trust कितना important है? आपको लगता है कि अगर ये important है, you can write yes, it is important. If you think no, it is not important, then write no, it's not important. Yes, I think trust is very important. That is what you are saying. Whether we talk about mentoring, whether we talk about in family relationship, whether we talk about between a company and a customer, हर जगह आप देखेंगे trust is important. That is what you are telling me. And I'll wrap it up with the last short video for maybe only 40 seconds, which is connected with trust and transparency. So my last request is, are we interested in watching 40 seconds video connected with trust and transparency? So if you are interested in watching a short video for 40 seconds connecting with trust and transparency, you can please put a yes, because whether we talk about between a mentor and a mentee, whether we talk about between a company and a customer, or even in some sort of a personal relationship or among colleagues, wherever we think trust is hopefully important. That is what you are mentioning in the chat box. So let's watch that video, and then I open it up for a quick round of interactions, if at all any questions, comments, criticism. Watch the video, and I hope you'll be able to tell me if you are able to hear the audio also. So just give me a second. I will play the last video for all of you connected with trust and transparency. I hope this will be visible, and also the audio will be fine with all of you. So just confirm if you are hearing the audio.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, watch it carefully.
Wait. There's something I want to tell you. -2.
Even I have something to tell you.
Lasting relationships are based on transparency, like what Geojit BNB Paribas shares with 4.5 lakh customers. Benefit from transparency.
I hope we got the message how important is trust in all walks of life. And you only mentioned that, yes, it is very important. So on that note, I think I will not just keep you on hold, but present the last slide, which is obviously a thank you note from my side. And just wrap up by saying that, yes, you are absolutely right. Our role happens to be like a mentor, a friend, a philosopher, and a guide. And hopefully our students are going to be the creator of their own destiny. Today in the morning, we discussed about dreams, and from there, I think we talked about success and failure, and we discussed about the concept of love and things like that, the life skills. So you see, our students are going to be the creator of their destiny, and all of them are going to hold the success key in their hand someday or the other, and we are going to be there as a mentor, as a facilitator, as a friend, philosopher, and a guide. So thank you so much, and I think it was an honor and pleasure to connect and conduct this session today. And it was lovely interacting with so many respected professors from all over the state and beyond. So over to you for a quick round of observation, comments, if at all any questions, criticism. I'm open for everything before you break for lunch. Thank you so much, all of you, and over to you.